So as most people know, I graduated earlier this year um, with a computer science degree, and I got all the footage back on, my Twitter. Uh, I got all the footage on my stories. I got all the footage on YouTube, all that stuff like that for my time being. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and stop beating around the bush. Yes, in 2023, computer science degrees are 100% worth it. And I would even go as far as to say college degrees themselves in 2023 are still worth it. I know that's a big shock for a lot of people. A lot of people can't believe that. You're on TikTok and stuff like that, and there's certifications, there's this, that, and there, all that stuff. Listen, man, that shit is worth it. Simple as that. All that shit is worth it. And I'm gonna tell you why. You have to look at um the alternatives for a lot of these things. That's first and foremost. What's your alternative? What can it get you? I tell this story, I tell my story all the time. So for those that have been here, hey, uh I while I was in college, I did all the things that I was saying I was doing before. I was working 2 and 3 jobs because I have to, or because I wanted to. I was doing AMP, I was doing Let's Keep It a Buck, I was doing my own channel, I was doing Airbnbs, I was girlfriend, I was doing a bunch of different things during college. I did not get much of the college experience. That's one of my biggest regrets. But with that also being said, I didn't get to do internships. I didn't get to do jobs in my field, none of that stuff. I was doing something completely different. I was able to get a job 15 days after I graduated. I think 15 days after I graduated. And I'm going to be transparent with y'all because right now I got a lower number of subscribers or people watching this. My first job is right under like $90,000 annually, 88 to 88, something like that. And again, this is without anything. This is with if I can only imagine if I applied myself just a little bit, what my horizons would be. What my horizons would be. So with that being said, I wholeheartedly think that these are worth it. And I think that like Mr. Burnout is saying right here, I don't like the notion that it's just okay, well, Omar, you got a computer science degree, um, et cetera, et cetera. It's not that. People need to open their minds up. People need to set their horizons higher. Whatever you want, you can achieve. Whatever you want, you can achieve. If you want that art degree and you want to make that much money, you want to make 6 figures, you can do the same thing. If you want I don't know, if you want to get that business admin degree and go into these fields, do that. I know people with these degrees and I know people that make this type of money in their field. I just know I know these people. And it's because they didn't limit themselves to what people told them their degree would amount to. They broadened their horizons. They broadened their horizons and they were able to, you know, get into different places in which they couldn't get to. I don't think that there's a time. I don't think that there's a timeline, time frame. If you ever ask yourself, uh, is it too late? Is it too early? Blase, blase, blah. How old was I when I graduated? I graduated at 26. I graduated at 26. I graduated this year. I'm 26. I'll be 27 on Saturday. I graduated at 26. And surprisingly, because sometimes you get that creep in you. We all got some insecurities, some self-conscious things. Every single semester, every single class that I signed up for, I was like, dang, it's gonna suck being the oldest one in there. And by George, I was not the oldest one in there. Never was the oldest one in there. Never was the oldest one in there. Literally never was the oldest one in there. This past semester when I finished, I had somebody who was 10 years older than me. They were 10 years older than me, which was crazy. That's a crazy concept. But again, it's not about how you end. That person was living their life. They weighed their options, and they decided that what they had available to them was not great, so they decided to do something different. And I'm telling you, same shit like from the beginning of the video. So it's called back. Same thing when I was doing AMP. I look at what's available for me. I project what my horizons are, and I just make a switch. That's how it's been since everybody's known me on the internet. I looked at when we were first on Twitch with Let's Keep It a Buck. I looked at what we could have got in the future. I didn't like it, so we made a switch. And that's just how you have to do life. I think people look at it too linearly. It's not linear. Life is not linear. Life goes all over the place. So I want to give some advice, just a little quick advice for people, and answer some of these questions in the chat, because there's a lot of people that are giving some questions in the chat. I like these questions in the chat. Go to school and enjoy your time. Even if that means taking a longer time, enjoy your time. Do not limit yourself. Do not limit yourself at all. Open your mind. Force yourself into new experiences. Even if you don't believe that they align with what you believe is good for you, try it. If you're straight, go to the LGBTQ Alliance Club meeting. If you don't go to the gym, start going to the gym. If you're African, go to the European Council meeting. If you like video games, join an intramural league. Just start doing stuff when you get to college. It'll open your mind. It'll show you new people. And I think what people don't understand is, especially coming out of high school, I went to a high school and my graduating class was about 300 people. My scope was only so big. It was only so big. And when I be talking to my girlfriend, she'll tell me like, I went to her graduating class was like 1,500 or something like that. It was a huge number. So the different types of people and the stuff that they experience, her scope had to be bigger than my scope. And that's the beautiful thing about college. It forces you to broaden your scope. College is worth it if you take advantage of it and try to consume as many things as possible. Those people that say, hey, hey, I don't think college is worth it. It didn't work out for me, et cetera, et cetera. They just didn't utilize everything. And it's easy to fall into the trap, because when I did college the first time when I graduated, it was go to the cafeteria. I graduated high school. It was go to the cafeteria, go to the rec center, back to the dorm to play 2K and smoke weed, repeat that cycle. Go to class, repeat that cycle. When you start taking advantage of everything, it changes your life. It changes your outlook on life. So you got to start doing that. You can make a lot of money, man. And I know that people claim that you can make a lot of money without going into all that debt. Statistically speaking, that's just not true. It's just not true. It's just not true. It's a harder route to take. It's a harder route to take. And being on both sides, that's part of the reason why I went back to school. I went to college originally, found out what was going on, and then tried to create my own route. And then eventually I put college down for a little bit. But between working 3 jobs, being in bullshit cars, being in my mom's house, can't afford to do this, that, and the third, can't afford to support, myself or somebody else or whatever the case may be. Like all that stuff became tiresome and it ultimately became old. So then I picked this thing up. I met some great people along the way. And before I knew it, my journey came to a close. And now I'm here. And now I have these things at my disposal. Even if I wasn't doing content creation, I would be all right. Even if I wasn't, I would be all right. Mark says, how do you feel about the self-taught route? I think the self-taught route is cool, but at the end of the day, people put respect on pieces of paper. They put respect on titles. They put respect on the accredited systems that are put into place. And I think the other problem with the self-taught route is, how is somebody who doesn't know what to look for, like how do they know what to teach themselves? How do they know? How do they know? And I think that I do even a decent job of like getting to the meat and potatoes, or really like trying to get to the basis of what I need to know to understand the concept. And I know everybody doesn't think like me. And I know everybody doesn't think like everybody else who has claimed to made it being self-taught. So you could be studying something that's 3 years ahead of you. I see a lot of people on the internet push rhetoric, specifically for tech. Hey, get this certification, get that certification. And the problem is they're suggesting a certification that is um, a level 3 certification when this person is on level 1. They have no baseline knowledge about any of this stuff. Why are we telling them to go ahead and take this jump? And at that point, once you get into the actual job, you won't know what the fuck you're doing, but you'll be able to just regurgitate some information. So, um, is online classes good? Niggas got a full-time job. Absolutely. Find some time though and make the sacrifices to be on campus as much as possible. I did online classes as much as possible because I had other stuff going on. I worked, side stuff, all that stuff. We know the story. But I think part of that also hurt me in the long run with networking, because at the end of the day, the degree, I'll tell you this too, the degree is not the biggest thing to gain from college. It's the interpersonal skills, the soft skills, and the network that you can build, because that's how you get jobs. That's how you continue your career. That's how you advance fast. I got friends that got jobs. I interviewed probably like 6, 7, 8 times for my job. They interviewed maybe twice. Why? Because somebody knew them. And the only way to do that is if you're on campus, you're talking to people, you're meeting people. And that's why I also tell people, hey, you got to do a bunch of different things. No shade, but go into if you're in college right now, go into your rec center, ask everybody what their major is, make a little chart, make a little tally, write down what everybody's major is, and then see how that aligns with your vision. So if half of those 75% of those people are kinesiology majors and you're trying to be a business accounting major, what do you think you can get from networking in the rec center? Oh, but what could you get from being a part of the business club? What I found out that the computer science majors weren't in the rec center playing basketball every day. I got up out the rec center. I can't go in there every single day no more. I'm not paying that no mind. You think the school matters for the degree? No. I think it can help. I think it can boost, your end goal. I think it can. But for a lot of people who just strive for like stability and stuff like that, no, man, go get that degree. Somebody will respect it and you'll have to work. I think that different schools present different opportunities. Like I'm trying to get my cousin now to go to Georgia Tech because he can get it paid for. And Georgia Tech just has different opportunities for like cybersecurity and all that stuff like that. So it matters in that aspect. But if you really like, if that's the determining factor for you, like, this school is 50 miles away and I just can't get to this school, and I know this is the best school for this because that's what people say, man, go get a degree. Statistically speaking, you will be better off than not having a degree. Go get it, man. Go get it. If you were offered a job, tone, I did the self-taught route. If it's not a bachelor's degree from X, Y, and Z college, you aren't getting the job. even if you want to do help desk work. These people make it harder on themselves when they're self-taught. And it's no disrespect to them because they might have all the skill in the world. It's just, I told my friend this the other day. At the end of the day, you're going to have to sit in front of a recruiter or an interviewer that has prejudices, that has biases, and that has preconceived notions about life. And there's no way they can't fight that. There's no way to be totally unbiased going into it. So, they're going to take everything into consideration. And sorry to say, the self-taught route is just not as respected. Yeah, I just, at the end of the day, I think it's worth it. Statistically speaking, it benefits you. I think a lot of people go to school dumb. So my actual advice, I think people should do two things. And I had, support out the wazoo to do this. So I know everybody can't afford to do this. My advice, take a break post high school. And the reason why I say that is because you're going to be tasked with making major decisions quick, fast, in a hurry. Take a break. It could be a semester, it could be a year. Take a break. Then go to school. In your first semester, year at school, do everything. Do everything. Don't get addicted to anything. Don't get anything you can't get rid of. And don't mess up that GPA. Don't mess up that GPA. And then from then on, internships every single summer and literally network. Maintain those grades, internship, network. Internships would have changed everything for me. I ain't gonna lie. I am not gonna lie. Internships would have changed. Y'all saw those internship numbers that Amazon employees were making? Think about if I would have landed those internships 2 summers in a row. And I had an Amazon intern interview. I just couldn't code to save my life. I fucked that one all the way up. I couldn't code to save my life. Got past the first part. They sent me the coding assessment, opened it, looked at it for 5 minutes. I was like, yeah, I can't code for real. But they were going to fly me out to Seattle if I had got the position. They would have paid for my housing. They would have paid for my relocation. They would have paid for everything. And then I would have, I would have just been in Seattle making that much money. Just period, point blank. But 2 of those, and then right after college, I would have been guaranteed a job at Amazon. And if that's what the interns are making, think about what the full-time employees are making. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. Amazon do it like that off a college degree. Same with Microsoft. Same with Microsoft. So get those internships, even if it feels that you don't think you're going to be in. Community college ain't bad. Too much hate on it. Listen, I got an associate's degree. Most people don't know that too. I got an associate's degree. I will not share this. Yeah, I got an associate's degree. When I went back to school, I got my 2-year, and I maxed out all the classes that I could take at that 2-year school. So when I went to the 4-year, I did not have to pay that much money. I got an associate's degree, man. I got 2 computer science degrees. I got an associate's in computer science. I actually think I have 3. I got 2 for sure that I have the paper for. I don't think the third one I don't think I got the other one. But I got an associate's in computer science. I got a bachelor's in computer science. And in a couple years, I'm going back to get a master's in computer science. I want to make $400,000 a year doing this shit. But so that's my advice. Take every opportunity that comes to you. School is about discovering yourself, opening your mind, opening your horizons. Take every advantage and opportunity. Start that business in school. Find a way to make it. Sacrifice, grind. Get a camera, cut the camera on, keep recording. Post it somewhere since you're gonna record it, but record. Date that girl, date that guy. Don't get way too attached. Fall in love, fall out of love. Work out real hard, get your body right. Get your body right. Try new foods, experience new cultures. You always gonna like sports. Take them 4 years, move away from sports, man. Do something different. Do something different. Tone says, "Can you do more talks like this?" I absolutely will. Hey, Sudi, I hear you. The folks that I know that are making 300 and 400, they got masters in computer science, man. I don't know what to tell you.